All right, guys, welcome back to the Lake Norman Business Podcast. My name is Danny Decker. I'm here with Richie Peplin, as always, and today our guest is Titus Bartolotta. Excited to have Titus on the show, and we're going to get to all the cool things he's up to in just a second. But first, I want to thank our sponsors. So, as always, sponsored by the XL Marketplace Breakfast, which is a quarterly marketplace breakfast and a gathering for entrepreneurs, business leaders, and those looking to grow in leadership. You can learn more about Excel, including the date of the next breakfast, by visiting newsongchurch.org. We're also sponsored by Chapter 1 Films. So, Chapter 1 provides high-quality video marketing services for business owners in Charlotte and Lake Norman. Their goal is to help businesses grow and tell their story more effectively using video, and you can learn more at chapter1films.biz. So Titus, welcome to the show. Usually I do a little introduction, and I don't even know where to begin with you because you are a business owner, an author, a philanthropist. You got a lot going on, so kind of tell us what you're up to these days.
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me. I'm watching you blow up and do all kinds of fun things, so I'm going to flip it and interview you. I mean, your book just came out, and you just had that awesome summit, so it's really fun to watch you, and it's an honor to be a guest on your show, so thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, and do tell us a little bit. So you've got a book, but let's talk about the book in a minute.
Yeah.
Tell us about sort of what's the day job, for lack of a better word. Business Leaders Unleashed. Just tell us what you got going on.
I'm so grateful. So I get to be the owner of Business Leaders Unleashed, which is really a marketing and personal and professional development organization. So it looks like a networking group from the outside world, but the truth is it's an opportunity to develop yourself, grow yourself, and get exposure for your business. We use networking as a vehicle to help get people there, but then there's all kinds of really fun treats once you get in. So I own that. We've got over 200 professionals, 6 chapters throughout the Lake Norman and Charlotte region. I'm also the owner of Collaborative Solutions Group as a certified business and life coach. I use my company, CSG, to help with speaking engagements, group training programs, one-on-one coaching opportunities. So those are the day jobs. That's what feeds my kids, and they're so hungry. Like the 5 and 4-year-olds just eat like all day long. I mean, they use the bathroom and eat. Like that is their whole contribution to the household. But that's how we keep them fed, is those 2 companies. And then on the philanthropy side, which you mentioned, I started something called the Lotta Foundation about 4 years ago. My last name's Bartolotta, so I thought we'd come up with the Lotta Foundation. And it's a really cool little play on the name. So it's let's do a lot of good. And we try to focus on a lot of toys, a lot of food, a lot of coat drives. And we do that every year. We've helped almost 7,000 families locally in Lake Norman and Charlotte. And so we are excited about that. I sit on the board of directors for Rotary International, 5 other charities, the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. So just in love with the community, in love with giving back, in love with philanthropic efforts. And if I can make enough money in my for-profit life, I get to do the stuff that I really enjoy, which is to love on and care about people at the highest level.
So when do you sleep, man?
I think when I die, there's going to be so much rest. No, I get a good 3 to 6 hours of sleep a day. I really do. I'm up super late. I'm a night owl. But like right when I go to sleep at like 5 in the morning, my kids, they'll bust in the room like SWAT. You know what I mean? Like there's a bomb in there.
Yep.
And my son will like lick my eyelid. So like I'm never all the way in REM sleep anyway, because I feel like they've timed it. Like they have radio walkie-talkies and they're like, Dad's sleeping, go, 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 go. No, I don't get a lot of sleep, but I'm fortunate that maybe I don't need it. I don't know. But I get about 3, 4, 5 hours a day.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Tell us a little bit about the book.
So the book is such a cool labor of love. I had this idea, this concept. I said, what if I could take life, like soft skills, leadership, teamwork, mindset, communication, what if I could take these skills and I could pair them up to what the world sees more along the lines as like talent? There's a defining difference between skill and talent, right? So the person that paints, that plays music, that sings, we go, man, that person's talented. Oh my God, they were born with that. And that's not true, right? Like Michelangelo would tell you, I put in a ton of time to develop this talent and create a skill out of it. And then some people think I'm just not super talkative. That's not my thing. I'm not a sales professional. And I go, man, that's not true. You can be great at anything if you put the time, energy, and effort into it. So I wanted to build this bridge between skill and talent. And so what I did with the book was I took leadership and painting, and I built a bridge between the master of painting and the master of leadership and the commonalities. And then I did the same thing with sales and communication and mindset, and just tried to give a roadmap to the reader that says, listen, here's how other people figured out how to master something that you think is beyond your reach. And if you would apply these daily disciplines, and if you would walk on this pathway that only leads to one place, you get to arrive there. And you don't get to create masterpieces unless you become a master at something. So let's get you to become a master so that you can start putting out masterpieces. That's what the book's about.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited that anybody has even cared enough to buy it. It's very cool.
Yeah, well, I bought it. I read it. I'm a big fan. I really do love the concept that we can, you don't just have to go wherever the wind blows. You can decide what you want to be good at. You can put the time in and the effort in, and you can create your own masterpiece. I think it's really well done.
And what is
Well,
this
thank
called?
you. It's called The Master Within.
The Master Within.
I think there's a master living inside of everybody. I really do. I'm a person of faith. So I believe that we were built and designed, to be great. I don't think anybody was supposed to be this half average, mediocre thing. I just don't. When you look at the human creation and the human journey, and you go, a person developed this machine that takes x-rays, or this device that talks across the world. When you look at the stuff we have built as a human creation, it's insane how talented and wonderful and amazing we are. It's never a lack of resources, right? It's only a lack of resourcefulness that stops somebody from arriving at the place that they hope to be. And so if you can remind people of that, I think you can do a lot. People love affirmations.
Yes.
I'm a fan of it. I think that there's a fine line between lying to yourself. Like if I tell myself I'm skinny and I can dunk a basketball, I am misleading myself, right? That's probably not good marketing, okay? If I can remind myself of a truth, right, of what I did amazing yesterday, I can empower myself to do something amazing tomorrow. So if we can remind people of what they're capable of, then they will get it done, and that's it.
Man, that's so good.
That's what the book's about. I'm so glad you bought it. Thank you.
Yeah. And where can everyone find it? It's on Amazon and elsewhere, right?
So you can get it on Amazon, Kindle, Nook, iBook. You can go to Barnes & Noble. You can go to Books A Million. You can go to my website, team-csg.com.
Love it.
You can find me at the grocery store, and I will likely have a copy to give you.
Love it.
There
Love
you
it,
go.
man.
Where do you shop?
Are we going to get some sponsorship dollars? Make sure you see Danny, Publix. Give Danny some money for his show. Publix.
There you go.
There you go.
Beautiful. Cool. Well, hey, I just thought of this just a second. You and I were talking a few weeks, or maybe it was a few months ago, and you mentioned something I was thinking about because of the book, about not giving anything away for free. And
Zero.
I think
Stop
that is
it.
such a really good lesson for business owners, especially those of us in the quote small business community who feel this constant pressure.
Stop.
And you told me a story about somebody who asked you for a copy of your book, and you lifelong. Can you give that example? Or was it your secretary?
Well, and so I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say her name, but it was a really sweet, wonderful woman who I admire and love and see her as a mother figure. And she is a secretary in one of the organizations that I run. And she's on a fixed income. So for her, even a $20 purchase is something that she had to consider. And she said, boy, she's been in my life. She's had so much value. And she said, boy, I'm sure I'm going to get one of these books for free. And I said, oh man, you're certainly not going to get one for free at all. You've got to pay for it. She said, well, I either get to go out and eat with you guys after this meeting or buy your book. I said, well, it sounds like you've got a decision to make. And she bought the book. Now, obviously, after she paid for it, I made sure that she didn't pay for it, and I bought her dinner and all of that. But it was the concept and mindset that you've got to invest, right?
Yeah.
And I tell business people all the time, stop doing it for free.
Yeah. Well, I love that
got
story.
to.
And let me just tell you, so I my book came out just a few weeks ago, and
I love the cover, by the way. Can I say that?
Thank you. Well,
super engaging
Tammy
cover.
Rojas, Red Hot Marketing Design, local business, did it for me. She's fantastic.
Awesome.
But that message has stuck with me because
Yeah.
I've had numerous opportunities where there's sort of been the chance, someone kind of is angling for a free book.
Sure.
And it's like, nope. But
Yeah.
the reason I bring that up is it's much bigger than books. It's like, seriously, like as a small business owner, like your time is so valuable.
Yeah.
Your expertise is so valuable. So just hearing you say that, I wanted to get that out there because we need to stop giving away things for free.
If I can preach one thing, if there's two things, one, I would try to tell everyone who's listening right now, continue in every way that you can to support Danny and his business and this program and this podcast. Do everything you can to support it. The second thing I would try to preach to people is never do anything for free. Stop. Don't do it. There's no reason. You're worth something. Your products are worth something. And listen, I'm okay with value trade-offs, right? You want to trade value for value? Go for it. You want to negotiate and get a better deal and say, hey, listen, can you do this? That's fine. But it can't be zero. It just can't be.
Right.
Because then you subconsciously tell yourself that I'm zero. And that's not, it's not a sustainable business model.
Yeah, you're agreeing that it's worth zero.
Yeah.
If we negotiate and we negotiate down to zero, we just agreed that whatever it is we negotiated over was worth zero.
Was worth nothing.
And we just wasted, if that's the case, we just wasted a whole bunch of our time.
It's insanity. And can I tell you, not only does it hurt yourself, your subconscious, your mindset, the profitability and opportunities for your business, it destroys the marketplace. Because now everyone is competing with, everyone does it for free. And so when I watch other people do, I do these live coaching programs, and everybody wants to do these lunch and learns for free. And they go, oh, well, if I do it for free, I can sell in the back of the room. What are you doing? Stop. You're not going to sell in the back of the room to a group of people that didn't want to invest in the first place.
That's what I was about to say. Like the simple flaw with that logic, beyond what you just said, is that the people who are coming for the free lunch aren't most likely the customers that are going to pay you good money for your in the first place. So no, really big deal. I'm glad we talked about that. So real quick, we got a few more minutes here. I want to get into marketing. And so I want to ask you one thing specifically, because you're one of the best examples of this that I've seen anywhere. I believe that motion and action and energy is attractive in the marketplace. And just being out there doing stuff, making noise, breaking things sometimes, changing things. I believe that just attracts opportunity, it attracts business. You are somebody who, like, I can't even list all of the things that you're a part of, it's awesome. Tell me a little bit about that. Is that something that you believe? Is something that just sort of happens? Like, how do you feel about just your activity level?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for saying that. And when you said, hey, you're one of the best examples, I thought you were going to talk about like a wet t-shirt contest, because I crush those. But when you're talking about energy and you're talking about being everywhere all the time and creating opportunities, I believe that. I think that when you're quiet, people get the wrong impression. And it's unfair. When you see somebody that's quiet, we assume they're not extroverted, they're not listening, they're not engaged, they're not paying attention. In reality, they might be a high C, process-oriented person. They're listening and they're trying to digest what you said. My point in saying that is you judge a book by its cover and you assume, in many cases, the wrong thing. So if you know that about the marketplace and if you know that about your potential clients, you have to do something that paints a picture that has them know that you are engaged, you're present, you're available, and you're excited. I tell people all the time, if you don't show the world that you're available and that you're interested, then they don't get to know that they can have you, and they don't get to be interesting. And so you've got to do those things. And when you get tired, you have to remind yourself that this is my decision to invest in the perception and painting that I make for the world. I mean, people call you because they want to know how to market themselves. And I'm sure that you probably give them a similar advice that says, if you're going to, real estate agents can't be a secret agent, right? People have to know that you're a real estate agent. You can't sit quiet and just assume and hope everybody knows that you're open for business. That's why we have blinking open signs on storefronts. It's not enough to be on the street. We need a sign that blinks and lets them know we're ready for them and ready to service them, right?
That makes sense. And you can't just say it one time. You can't just make one post on Facebook and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent now. 10 years from now when you want to sell your house, remember this post.
Yeah, because have you ever seen cats? They're adorable. And when I see a picture of a cat pop up 3 minutes later, I forgot all about you. That we are busy, man. People are so slammed. They're busy. It's not that people don't care about you. Okay, it's not that they're not invested and interested. It's just you are one of the 5,000 people that are trying to get my time and attention. And because there are people like you, Danny, and this program, because there are talented folks that are teaching people how to be effective, it just means there are more effective people trying to get my time. It just makes it even more challenging. So you have to be on top of your game even more so, right?
Well, I could go from about to make a note about what maybe we just talked about, and maybe I'm going to put that on my to-do list to go follow up with you. And I open up my phone and there's 5 messages that distract me. So then I write that and I completely put it away. I forgot that I was even going to do it. Gone that quick.
And not everyone has a business coach that's helping them with prioritizing, organizing, and time management. So they're going to open their phone up, get distracted, take a left, and it's not that they don't like you and what you said. They just get lost down the road and they go, well, how do I track back? And if you don't leave the breadcrumbs for them to come find out where you were before, then they just don't come back. In sales, I remember when I was in commission sales, and anybody that's listening right now that's ever sold cars or anything where they were on a commission sales floor, somebody would say, hey, you know what? Great presentation. And if they didn't buy anything, and everyone right now is saying it with me while they're listening, the customer would say, I'll be back, right? And we would always say that the be back bus would break down like a block down the road. Like they never came back, right? And so you have to dominate that moment, but you have to say, listen, how do I leave breadcrumbs for them to come back, right? How do I leave a string for them to go out, do their thing, but still know how to come back home so I can service that customer and not lose the opportunity?
I succeeded one time in getting a customer to come back.
There you go. How'd you do it?
I was selling cars, and in the middle of this, he said that he was going to go and get a sandwich.
Okay.
And I don't know where it came from, but I was like, okay, I reached in my pocket and I said, here, get me one too.
Oh, brilliant.
And so he took my money.
Yeah.
And the guy came back with sandwiches.
I love that.
And that's just quick. A bet on this guy wasn't going to just run off with my money.
Yeah.
But if I didn't do that, he would have been on the be-back bus, and that bus was breaking down.
But you know what you did that's even more exciting? You made an investment, right? Like, first of all, that could have been silly, right? He could have thought that's stupid. But you thought it, you did it, and you acted, but then you financially invested. So you invested your time, your money, your energy, and you won, right? Did he buy when he came back?
He did.
Did you make money off of that?
I did.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I love that.
It worked.
That's way better than anything I've said in this interview so far. That was brilliant. No, I mean, I love that. But again, that's that energy where so many people think about, people are getting ready to get ready all the time and not do the action part. And so you won because you took action. Even if it's the wrong action, it's still better than inaction, isn't it? I think so.
100%.
Yeah.
Titus, if you had to share one piece of advice, one piece of marketing advice for our listeners out there, some of whom may be new at the world of owning a business, trying to figure out how to start marketing themselves, one piece of marketing advice that you could give to the local community, what would that be?
I would say twofold. One, if you feel like social media isn't your thing, you're wrong and stop. Like, that's number one. So like, stop fighting it, right? I mean, I think over 2 billion Facebook accounts exist. That's over a third of the human population. You just got to get over it. Get an account, be active. But here's the real advice. The advice is when you're shouting and posting, and whether it's paid ads or organic or whatever it is, when you're doing this and then people do chime in, what I notice, people don't participate after they post. Mm-hmm. When you're the business owner and you're saying, here's my product, here's my service, and then when someone hits the like button, why are you not hitting that person, friending them, PMing them, saying thank you so much, sending them a card? Man, it means the world to me that you liked my post. And then saying, can you tell me what was about my post that you liked? We're not engaging. We're wanting them to talk to us, but then we don't want to talk back to them. We don't want to create a conversation. So when they chime in and they go, really great post, thanks, and you just hit the like button on their comment, what are you doing? That's not how you would operate in real life. If I were to say, hey man, that's a great shirt.
Thank you.
I would go, we would have a conversation about that, right? If I were to say, hey, I just bought this new thing, I love it. You guys would engage in that. But on social media, we tell people what we want to say, and then if they chime in, we stop. And I don't understand why we don't follow. They're saying, hey, I wish you would engage with me. Like, I want to have a conversation with you. And we're just going, well, I already said what I had to say. Unless you're like clicking to buy something, I just wanted you to hear me. And humans want to be heard. So when you don't give them a chance for them to be heard, there's no reason for them to connect with you and really buy into your product and service. So that's the biggest piece of advice. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
a lot of sense.
But I just don't. It drives me. Does it not drive you nuts?
Oh, it does. Totally.
It drives me nuts when I watch people get 15 likes and 3 comments, and then I look and I go, you didn't even engage with these 15 people. It's bonkers. Yeah. Anyway, that's my advice.
100%. Titus, this was great, man. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Tell everybody how they can connect with you. Where's the best place?
Sure. So you can go to my website, team-csg.com. And all my contact information is there. You can see the radio show, the book, all the coaching opportunities, team-csg.com.
Awesome. Yeah. Titus, thanks for being here, man.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, friend.
Thank you.